Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another monster video. So today we have a Ryclops from the Bounty Hunt. That's a free-to-play monster. I'll be reviewing that monster at rank 5, level 150, which is actually insane. So if you guys are excited for today's video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on. Anyways, let's go on and get started. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. We have a rank 5, level 150 Ryclops here. So let's start off with the traits first of all. You have a immune to control. You have access to that in the beginning. So right away you have access to that, which is really good. And it's one of my favorite traits, honestly, immune to control. Because it gives you immunity to every type of control. Basically, that's basically what it is. So it gives you immunity to stun, freeze, possession, corruption, and all their mega versions, which is really good. And then hardened at rank 1, which is actually quite decent having hardened there. Rank 3 you have that immune to torture status caster. I just wish I've never seen this personally. I'm not sure if this is actually in the game, but I just wish that hardened was actually a status caster and the immune to torture would have been a trait instead. You know, I've never seen hardened as a status caster, to be honest. I probably have, I just don't remember, but yeah, I just wish that these two swapped and that immune to torture would have been a trait. But overall, not bad with the traits. Now, what I've noticed with this monster, without the runes, this mythic has an insane amount of stat. Okay, so 22,960 power. You don't have to worry about the power since this monster is not an attacker. 324,760 life, which is actually an insane amount of life to have as a supporter. Of course, so right now, the time I'm recording this monster has an insane amount of stat compared to the other Metropolitan monsters. And lastly, 13,072 speed, which is actually insane. So overall, insane stats in my opinion. Comparing it to the other Metropolitan monsters, it is just amazing. So great job with the stats here. Now, before I get into the runes, let's go and check out their skills. So Ricky's Assault is one of his best skills. It removes positive status effect from one enemy and then deals low earth damage to all enemies, removes positive status effect from all enemies. So this is basically, let's just say it's an earth version of the dragon skill, Ignorance is Bliss. So basically removing positive status effect once and then dealing some type of damage and then remove positive status effects from all enemies again. So that is 36 stamina with 2-turn cooldown. This is actually really good because you can use this skill to bypass phase shield, so it gives you an advantage there against phase shield, of course. Ricky attack deals heavy earth damage to one enemy, removes positive status effects from one enemy, applies a 30% life shield to all allies. Okay, so you have another remove positive status effect skill that actually applies life shield to all allies, and it's a 30%. Shining Crystal applies immune to blind and torture to all allies. This is really good because I know he already has immune to torture as a status caster, right, to himself, but this is to everybody. And on top of that, you're also giving immune to blind, which is really good. Now, I know nobody or many don't use Vampire Troll anymore, but like this literally counters Vampire Troll's AoE skill, which applies, if I'm not mistaken, a Nightmare. Blind, it hits with blind as well, right? And then it's something else as well, but yeah, I mean, it literally counters it, right? You have immune to torture and you have immune to blind, so that's really good. Basalt Dust, this is a remove all control status effects to all allies and a 50% life shield to all allies. Oh, cool. So let's say if any of your allies are controlled, right, like let's say they're possessed, let's say they have stun or freeze, you can use this skill to remove it all from everybody, and on top of that, a 50% life shield to all allies, which is really beneficial. Now let's take a look at the other skills that in here. You Rock applies a 30% life shield to one ally. Now this is a spammable skill because it's a 0 cooldown, 0 stamina, so even if you don't have any stamina, or even if you get hit with CDA, aka cooldown activation, then you can continue spamming this for as long as you want. Okay, so it's a spamming skill. And then you have Mineral Enhancer, which is a torture immunity to one ally. Why would you go with this when you can go with the AoE one? Now I get that this one, it costs 0 stamina and 0 cooldown, and this is a 42 stamina and 2-turn cooldown, but this is better because it comes for all allies, and on top of that, it is immune to blind for all allies, you know what I mean? So I'd rather go with the AoE one. Lastly, Stone Shepherd. Yeah, Stone Shepherd, it applies immune to blind to one ally. It's basically this skill, but it's just that it gives immune to blind. Literally a mini version of Shining Crystal, basically, that is, you know, it comes in two, basically, you know what I mean? Basically split apart, and it's only to one ally. Mountain Spirit deals low earth damage to one enemy, removes positive status effects from one enemy. Now this skill right here is quite underrated, honestly. If you want to run this, you can. You can continue spamming this as much as you want, so you can continue to remove positive status effects over and over again. I just wish that this actually removed positive status effect twice. If it did, then I'd actually run this, but it doesn't, so I'm not gonna run it. If it did remove positive status effect twice, I would have run it, of course, because it's really good against phase shield once again, and phase shield is like one of the most broken street talents in the game right now, in my opinion. So It'd be really good to counter that. Now, anyways, with the rinse, here's what I recommend giving. You can go with 2 speed and 1 team speed. You can even do, for example, 2 team speed and 1 speed. It really depends on the play. You can even do triple team speed if you have that. Or lastly, this is actually pretty popular. You can go with triple speed, something like this. Okay, so only given speed and team speed and play around with it, however you like it. But this is the most, I guess, popular a way to ruin this monster, so I'm just gonna go with this. Let's go ahead and move on to the relics. For relics, you can go ahead and give this monster a staff, so it could be any staff. For example, some of the ones that I recommend giving would be Cane of Atlantis, or for example a Master Staff, which is actually pretty popular. And then there is Equilibrium Staff that you can go ahead and give as well, and lastly Thumb Seed Staff. So whichever one you like, go with one of those. I'm personally gonna go with like a Master Staff because Master Staff I feel like works best. And then lastly, for SN, there are a couple that I recommend giving. One of them is Flamear's SN. That's the best thing that you can actually give. There is also Geckon's SN if you want to go with like a type of relic that will actually regenerate your stamina. But why would you go with that when you already have a staff that will regenerate your stamina? Unless you're going to give in Pump Seed Staff, then that's acceptable. But anyways, a couple other ones that you can go with would be Zion's SN. But this, once again, if you're going with Pump Seed Staff on the other side or something else that won't regenerate your stamina, you can go with either Geckon's SN or Zion's SN. But if you're not, then I recommend going in with one of the ones that actually resurrects you back. So one of them would be either Flamear's SN or Ural's SN. But here we have a level 45 Flamear's SN, so I'm going to go with that. Lastly, for the relic here, here's what I recommend giving, guys. So there are actually a couple that you can actually go ahead and give in. One of them being would be Med Pack. That's if you want to play it safe, you know, heal up a bit if you take damage. The other one would be Face Shield. This one's actually pretty popular. If you want to go with this, you can. You also have Tactical Scouter. Well, this is if you're not going to go with any relics that won't regenerate your stamina, then you're going to go with Tactical Scouter, of course. And then of course there are a couple more, like the ones like Dampening Field, which removes stamina and stuff. But once again, Face Shield is pretty popular, so I'm going to go with that. If you guys want me to review this monster once again, make it like a part 2 where I use this monster as an attacker, then go ahead and comment down below and I'll go ahead and do that. Now the ultimate is called Rock Your World, which is a pause effect remove, right, from all enemies twice. So you remove it twice and then you apply the heavy earth damage to all enemies. You're gonna hit them with that, and then lastly the mega stun to all enemies. So that's actually a really good ultimate, I've got to say. If it came with a trade disable, that would have been even cooler, because if the enemy is immune to control, right, or immune to stun for example, then that won't really land because you're just removing positive status effect, you're dealing damage, and then that's stun there. Alright, so Blamiria, Soul Drag, and Dracuna High, that's what we're facing. Let's go ahead and go in. So let's see here. We can start off with the remove positive status effect and basically gets rid of that shield if we wanted to. There is an earth hater there, so basically triple damage against earth monster, which is basically Ryclops. We could get rid of that if we wanted to, or we could go with the shield, immune to blind and tortures as well. Now if I apply this monster is just going to go ahead and remove it with the skill, so there's no point even with the shield. And then another shield, right? So I might as well just go with Ricky's Assault and remove positive status effect, which is an earth hater and the shield there. So Soul Feint, yep, I was expecting that. Unrolling Assault there. Alright, so now what we can do, we can go ahead and do either Laceration or something else. Might as well do this. Frequently Gauntlet takes you down. I think Soul Drag is gonna kick in, yep. Okay, oh man, I got hit pretty hard with that Soul Drag. I thought I could actually take the damage there. Fortunately I couldn't. Now we can actually remove positive status effects here, get rid of that shield. Battle Sight. Okay, Darkuma, it's your turn. Here's what we could do. We can remove all negative status effects and apply a random... I've never used Darkuma before, to be honest with you guys, so this is actually my first time. Dark Protection. None of these monsters are dark. Applies a random positive effect protection to itself, or we could go with the damage block. So you already used one of your AoE skills. I'm not sure if you have another one. You know what? We can regenerate your stamina there as well, and we don't really care about the shock, honestly. It's just gonna deal damage, and it's not like I have extra turns skills with that, you know, with that monster. Might as well just go with the damage section here. Alright, so see how I just regenerate stamina thanks to one of my relics, of course. We can go with the shield play here, or the immune distortion with blind. We're probably gonna remove that, but might as well just go with this, sure. That also gets rid of the shock there that we had. Yep. Okay, now it's my turn again. We can remove positive status effect again, which is, as you guys can see, there is damage protection, double damage, stamina regen, and shield. We can actually get rid of that. with that skill right there that we just used. So that is actually a pretty good play there. Let me see what we can do here. We can heal, or we can remove all the negative side effects and apply a random positive type protection, of course. Sure. We can actually do that. We got dodge area, and this monster got immune to control. Alright, I could apply shield, or I could go ahead and attack. If I attack, let me just go with the shield. I'm gonna play it a little safer. Unfortunately, we got ulted. Oh, I can't do anything against ult. Unfortunately, my Darkun was dead, yeah? No? Darkun was still alive. Let's just do this. Apply some shield. Burning Hate Fist. Ouch. Unfortunately, we can't win this. Yeah, there's just no way. But let's just save time and exit this battle, because this monster is just a supporter. Unfortunately, we can't really do anything with that monster. Let's go ahead and get into this next one. And oh, this one's pretty easy. Cool. So take a look at this. There's Megaton there. There's also immune to torture. So if I wanted to get rid of both of them, right, I can use Ricky's Assault and basically remove positive side effects from all. Unfortunately, I got hit with CDA, but that's fine. We can go ahead and eliminate whichever one we want. So if I wanted to get rid of Tabor, for example, I can actually do that because I have Frequency Gauntlet. There we go. So we got rid of Tabora. Darkuma had a skill to use. I thought he was on cooldown, so I just recharged. We're going to recharge again, and then we can go ahead and hit you with whatever skill. I'll take you down because I think you're going to die to shock. No, pretty weak though. Now, let's say if I wanted to get rid of all these negative status. Oh, actually, I can't. I can't. I can only get rid of control, which none of them has control. So let's go ahead and eliminate you. Yeah, so unfortunately, this monster does not have any skills that would, you know, get rid of any, let's say, tortures or anything like that. Well, actually, you can do tortures. It's just that negative status effects like that countdown or anything like that, you know what I mean? You can't really remove that countdown if the enemy applies that to you. That's just an example, though, okay? So, yeah, that kind of sucks. But anyways, let me go ahead and add this to queue. I'm going to add this to queue as well. Let's go ahead and fight again. We're going to enter another battle and see who we're up against. Christ. Okay. Let's see what you got. Oh, absolute zero talent. Guess what? I know well, I'm faster than the dragon, first of all. But the dragon has absolute zero. Guess what? I'm immune to control there. And so is that other monster. You see? It's really good. We're going to go ahead and remove positive satisfaction from everybody. That gets rid of the evasion on Lord Nebuchadnezzar as well, which is really good. Ignorance is bliss. Absolute zero, as you guys can see. Both of my monsters, they still have, what's it called? They don't have the freeze effect there. And if I wanted to get rid of the freeze effect on Zarguma, I could actually do that later on. And I'll go on and show you guys, of course. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and attack you. You're going to die. And you're going to come back, right? Okay, cool. Awful Dreams. Okay, you hit me with Torture. As you guys can see, Face Shield just kicked in. It's going to heal me, and it applied all those other good stuff. So I just regenerated stamina. I can actually apply the immune to blind and tortures, or what I can do is I can remove all control status effects and apply a 50% life shield. So let's say if I wanted to get rid of that Mega Freeze effect on my Darkuma, I can actually do that with that skill right there. Alright, you hit me with that again, no problem. We can... Oh, look, if I wanted to go with Dark Protection, I could go with this because there is Lord Nebuchadnezzar, but I feel like you're just going to remove it. Unless I actually eliminate you, but I'm not sure if my monster right here will be powerful enough because I see the turn order there. How about we do this? Yeah, you know what? Let's just go with this. We're going to heal and apply that. Responsive side effect. Let's get rid of that Mega Taunt. See, there's a nice thing about having more than one skill that actually removes positive side effect. It comes in handy. Let's get rid of Lord Nebuchadnezzar. And then we can do immune to torture and blind. As you guys can see, we have nightmares right now, right? And then when I apply shining crystal, it basically gets rid of that nightmare. And if there were many more, we could have gotten rid of that as well. Of course, it's not just nightmares. It's any torture basically. And then lastly, we're gonna take you down just like that. Soul Drag kicked in, barely dealt any damage. But yeah, overall, not a bad monster. I actually like it. That's why I went for a rank 5, guys, or I'm going for a rank 5 actually on my account. So that's basically the plan. But Ryclops is amazing. Once again, it really reminds me of Tabora, I'd say. A Tabora. Yeah, a Tabora mixed with the dragon, honestly. Just no trade disabled. Yeah, so you see you have immune to torture. Then you also go ahead and remove all the status effects from one, and then from all enemies right after. You do have some shield skills which will come in handy when you, let's say, really need it in a battle. So it's really good having those shield skills, of course. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts about this monster. I think he's fantastic, but I'd love to hear your opinion, of course. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.